Hey there guys, we've got some new EX stages on the global server, and in this video we're going to be doing some strong clears, strong units, strong gear, etc. Then I'll be going back in a different video and trying to do these with more of a, budget style team. But for now, we're just going to use some of my best units and get a simple clear in. So level 4 of Taivas Crowns, no continues, 12 turns or less, no KOs. You cannot take a friend, and it is locked to Season 4 units only. Now, if you've got yourself a nice Taivas, this should be relatively no problem. We're going to go in here with this party, and then we're going to get an all-mission clear in. I'll show you the gear and all, though I'm not going to lock in the clear until I'm ready for the budget run. But all three enemies, there's 2 stages, but 3 enemies, they're all humans. And most of them deal ice damage, so you want some ice resist on your party. We're going to start off with Runda doing his LB on turn 1, so will Ihana, so will Yish and Tulien, and so will Taivas. And we're going to send Taivas first, wait just a moment, then send Yish and Tulien to chain it up and cap. So we're going to deal some damage on turn 1. Doesn't really matter how much damage you deal. There's no thresholds or anything that I'm aware of. I could be wrong on that one, but I don't think so. So they're going to go ahead and do some status effects. They're going to buff themselves. These buffs are actually relatively small. It's like 10% stats and 10% resist. You can pretty much ignore them. They did do status effects, and Taivas is not wearing immunity to fit more gear in, so Runda will just Panacea from Riku's pouch to cure Taivas. Now we're going to get set up for bursting again. We did partially crown Taivas with the silvers, only up to +2 or +1. We did all of Taivas' passive, and then only 1 out of 2 of his cooldown. So we're going to do both his cooldowns, and then just Flames Verd. Yish, on this turn, honestly can just guard. Tulien can go ahead and do Jord kicks, and then just some whatever stuff. Ihana will go ahead, this is kind of overkill, completely honest here. Ihana will do Human Killer on Tulien as well as Taivas. Yeah, Ihana is really not important, but again, for the good runs, I like showing you my best possible. So even though we definitely don't need Ihana's killer buff, it's going to make it a better clear and an easier clear, so we're going to do it. So for this, we're going to now use Ihana just Kurega to go into the next fight full health. Yish will just triple AoE bolting with Blizzara. Tulien can do his SOB, Taivas can do his SOB, and if Tulien's SOB, if you're not EX3 Tulien, just do, like here, we've been doing it to demonstrate, just triple AoE bolting instead. You don't have to use his SOB. EX 2 is totally fine. So here we go. We go ahead and chain this up, and then boom, we get it with Taivas. Taivas is doing all the real damage here. So there it is. Now we're going into the next fight. So this one is going to be against Yish, the enemy. Same stuff for the most part. So we're going to again save Runda's SLB because we want to use it for giving modifiers to Taivas. So Runda is going to just do cover, protect, and shell. We'll do the LB of Tulien and Yish again with Taivas. We'll also do it with Ihana. So we're going to send Taivas first. Wait just a moment. Then send the other chainers. And deal a little bit of damage right here. Again, most of the damage is going to be coming on turn 3 when Taivas' SLB is ready. Or turn 4 if your Taivas is EX2. So the boss is going to go ahead and do some buffs and Mirage, etc. We'll just use Runda to triple bolting to get rid of the bosses. The boss didn't do Mirage yet. I lied to you. That's okay. So we're going to use Human Killer on Tulien as well as Taivas. Taivas is now going to use his cooldowns as well as his Magnus. We don't have his 150 Amplify unlocked yet, but that's fine. Tulien on this turn can do Jord kicks. We're out of mana, so I guess that's all we're going to do is this. Yish is going to do her cooldowns, and then whatever. Okay, so here we go again. More stuff. And some attacks. No big deal. Okay, and now we're going to kill the boss. Taivas' SLB. So now we're going to use Runda with his Burst Head to cast all the modifier buffs on Taivas to give him even more damage. If the boss had Mirage, Ihana could Barrage or something or whatever. The boss doesn't have Mirage, so we'll just, apparently Tulien's LB is not ready, so we can try to fill it up with Ihana just for more damage. There we go. And if it wasn't ready, we can just, support chain again, where the real damage is coming from Taivas. And we can, here we go, and there should be the end of Yish. Oh, because of the damage cap. I think Taivas hit the damage cap. Oof. But we got it. So there it is. No continues, 12 turns or less, no KOs. And you can really just go to turn 4, turn 5, turn 6. There's no real turn limit other than the actual turn limit. But there's no big ultimate attack coming on turn 5 or something. So if it takes you longer, totally fine. So the gear, real quick, is the whole party is wearing decent ice resist, some status immunity on Runda, passive provoke evasion. He's using his burst head for more damage on this fight. And then there we go, just, passive provoke evasion and some spirit. Ihana, just some ice resist. Other than that, literally who cares? We didn't actually use Bushido because it's kind of irrelevant. So there we go, mana reduction and mana regen. Taivas is using his upgraded TMR, Titus's Garb, his TMR, STMR, I mean, a good card. Like I said, this clear we're going all out, so maxed LB and maxed human, and he's at 14,000 attack power with his own leader skill. Yish, literally whatever, who cares? There's the gear, just, bulk, status immunity, and some ice resist. Tulien, geared for damage, technically. I wish we could show you the damage breakdown. It's not going to be very high, but we did gear him for damage. He's partially crowned from his own stage, and there it is, and then he had LB damage, etc. Anyway, that was the Taivas Crowns. 3 turns, there it goes. We'll be going back for a budget run in another video in the future. For now, let me change the team, and we'll pop over to the other EX fights. Alright guys, next up is going to be the Tulien Crowns. This one is again locked to Season 4 units only. This one's against a Spirit, 5 turns or less, no continues, no KOs. We're going to use the same team. We made a few small adjustments. I'll show you the gear changes in a moment. But again, if you have Taivas, he for the most part carries this. So this boss is definitely a little trickier than the other one. We're going to use Ihana's LB on turn 1. We're going to use Runda's as well. Then we're going to LB, Tulien, and Yish. And then Taivas is going to go first. We wait, chain. Deal a little bit of damage on turn 1. And there we go. So the boss this turn is going to dispel us and then do single target stop. So our provoker, Runda, is immune. This turn, Taivas we still didn't get his level 4 crowns. We also didn't get his amplify. So this is just a regular old Taivas with only his first 3 crown levels beaten. But we're going to do both his cooldowns and his old Magnus. Ihana is just going to do Veil for status immunity. Runda will cover, shell, and protect, because we did get dispelled. Yish will do all her Magnuses and cooldowns and all. Tulien, same thing. Jord kicks, Magnus, and then something or other. Okay, so this turn, the boss is going to do a random target death that cannot be provoked, so everyone needs immunity. Then we're going to do Berserk on the provoker, which is Runda. But that's fine. So now we're going to go ahead and just chain up Yish and Tulien again, and we're going to use the SLB of Taivas. And there we go. That should be an all mission clear. Boom. Handled on turn 3. So for this clear, Runda is now using backup unit for his death and stop immunity. Other than that, literally kind of whatever. This boss is pretty basic other than status effects. Ihana, death immunity, status immunity. Other than that, whatever. Taivas, we swapped out his materia for Spirit Killer, and we gave him a death immunity. Other than that, same thing. He's only got 3 out of 4 crowns, doesn't have his big amplify, etc. Yish, gave her death immunity. Other than that, literally, who cares? Tulien, gave him death immunity, swapped his gear around a little bit for killers, and then there we go. And that was the clear on Tulien's crowns. Okay, let's go ahead and pop over to a nice, quick, easy clear for the equipment stage, and then we'll go in for budget runs. See you in a bit. Alright guys, next up we're going to go to Sovereign of the Savage Sea for the equipment. This one you can use any unit, so we're going to just turn 1 OTK it. So it's it's an aquatic dragon and it's weak to thunder, so no items, no continues, no KOs. We're going to grab a Richt friend and we're going to go with a Blessing of the Crystals party and blow this up. So this is the team we're going to be using, so let's get in here and give it a go. Sylvie will be doing thunder support and buffing. We're going to be using Angeal for breaking and thunder in peril. So Angeal, break, and thunder in peril. Sylvie can do, let's see, offense, bolt egg, and then I've got your back on my Richt. Roberta can do dragon killer, aquatic killer, and then start the chain with tag chaining. And then Ace, who is our leader, can do his LB. Richt can do his LB. Other Richt can do the LB. Shifted LB. The friend is not pre-shifted. That's fine though. So shifted LB. So we're going to send Roberta first. Wait just a moment. Then we're going to click Ace because he's a little bit slower. Then we're going to chain Richt and Richt. So this, chain this, and then chain these. And that should be the end of Silegia on turn 1. There we go. So missions, we did them all. The gear, Sylvie gear naked, Angeal naked, Roberta naked, who cares. Richt is with the Blessing of the Crystals leader skill with Ace, 18,000 attack power. There we go, he's maxed on everything, maxed dragon, maxed dragon, maxed aquatic. Vermilion Ace, using 15,000 magic, his own leader skill, maxed on dragon and aquatic. Yep, maxed on both. And then the friend is also maxed on everything. There's the build 17.3 because this friend is universally geared. Good friend unit, 300 every killer. That's the classic Richt build, but mine was more specialized because we don't want to lock that in yet. We want to save it for a budget run. Mine was more specialized for this fight specifically, so we squeezed in more EPing. Anyway, there's the 3 quick clears on these fights. I will now work on budget runs, so see you in a bit.